The chilling tale of the Donner Party, a group of brave pioneers bound for California, yet tragically trapped in the Sierra Nevada during the winter of 1846 to 1847, is one of the most gripping stories of survival and desperation.
I can't believe they actually resorted to cannibalism. How could it get that bad?
Their plight was dire, with a multitude of setbacks during their journey. Like getting lost on the Hastings Cutoff, they faced starvation as snow closed in around them.
It's easy to overlook how challenging that terrain was. The early snowfalls caught them completely off guard.
So they were stuck there for months? That sounds horrifying.
Indeed, they were trapped for nearly 4 months. Only 48 out of the original 87 survived.
This has remained a profound lesson in the dangers of the westward migration.
What actually happened during those months stuck in the snow? That's just the beginning of the tragedy.
During the 1840s, a surge of settlers flocked westward, seeking freedom, opportunity, and land.
Was it just a spontaneous movement? What sparked this mass migration to California?
It was fueled by concepts like manifest destiny. Many believed it was their divine right to settle the lands between the Atlantic and Pacific. Additionally, the promise of a better life was incredibly enticing.
Not to mention, there were actually significant economic opportunities emerging in California.
But I've heard of people talking about the Oregon Trail. How did that play into it?
Most settlers followed the Oregon Trail out of Independence, Missouri. But the Donner Party made a fateful choice to take Hastings' shortcut, a decision that proved to be disastrous.
What was that shortcut like? Did they know it was risky?
Hastings' route was hardly tried and true. He had ventured through it himself only once, and it turned out to be much more treacherous than anticipated.
And yet they believed it would save them time. What a costly mistake.
Among the 500 wagons, the Donner and Reed families formed a close-knit group. George Donner and James Reed were instrumental in leading their party.
I'm curious about the families involved. How did their dynamics play out throughout the journey?
Well, George and Tamsin Donner traveled with their daughters and extended family, while Reed had his wife and children, along with hired hands.
It's important to note that family ties strengthened their courage, but also heightened the stakes when disaster struck.
So you're saying that when things got tough, the bonds that held them together became a double-edged sword?
Exactly. Underlying tensions contributed to divisions, especially as food became scarce.
One remarkable aspect was how they looked after each other, despite the growing desperation.
That begs the question. How did they even decide to continue on such a challenging path after facing setbacks? What was their thinking?
It was a combination of hope and despair. They believed help was just ahead, but as we will uncover later, choices made led to sinister outcomes.
Sinister. There's more to this story, isn't there? What did they resolve to do as their situation worsened?
Their options grew more limited by the day. The decisions they faced were monumental. Not every choice led to survival.
I can't even fathom the tension and fear. What else is coming in this tale?